Chapter 8. Who am I? A fly buzzed by Jack's ear. He slapped it away. He opened his eyes. This Hun was high above the canyon walls. He had slept a long time. Slim and Annie were sitting by a fire drinking from tin cups. Coffee? Biscuits? Annie asked Jack. Where'd you get them? Said Jack. A cowboy always carries biscuits and a canteen of coffee, said Slim. He walked over and gave Jack a biscuit and a cup of coffee. Ugh, it's hard as a rock, Slim said, and bitter as muddy river water, but a cowboy takes what he can get. Jack took a bite and a sip. The biscuit was very hard and the coffee was very bitter. But that was okay with Jack. Since cowboys didn't mind, he didn't mind either. I'll saddle up Dusty, Slim said, and take you back to town to catch your stage. Then what will you do? Said Annie. Head south with my herd, said Slim. Sell 'em, then ride across the plains and round up more mustangs. While Slim saddled Dusty, Jack took out his notebook and pencil and wrote, Cowboy breakfast, bitter coffee, hard biscuits. Hey, Shorty, called Slim. What are you doing? Taking notes, said Jack. What for? He likes writing things down, said Annie. Oh, yeah, said Slim. Me too. In fact, I first came out west to write a book. But one thing led to another, and the next thing I know, I'm a Mustang herder. Slim, you should write your book, said Annie, and let the Mustangs go free. Think so? Said Slim. They looked at the grazing wild horse. I know so, said Annie. Yep, said Jack. Your book should be about the Wild West, Slim. Slim kept staring at his herd. Maybe you're right, he said. I could settle in Laramie and right there. Wouldn't have to chase after rustlers anymore. Slim turned back to Jack and Annie. Yep, I think I'll be a writer. Let's go, before I change my mind, he said. Yay, said Annie. I'll go tell them. She jumped up and ran to the Mustangs. Jack packed his backpack while Slim packed his saddlebags. Then Slim and Jack climbed onto Dusty. They rode over to Annie, who was stroking Sunset's neck. I told him he's as free as the wild wind now, said Annie. Sounds good, said Slim. Give me your hand, Smiley. Slim pulled Annie onto Dusty, and she sat in front of Jack. Slim snapped his reins, and Dusty started off. The sun was hot as Dusty climbed out of the canyon. When they reached the top, they peered down at the canyon floor. The Mustangs pranced playfully, their coats shining in the hazy light. They'll find their way out soon, Slim said, then cut across the prairie. Yell goodbye to your pals, Smiley. Stay with your mother, Sunset, shouted Annie. Goodbye. Out of the blue, a voice called, Bye. Annie gasped. Who said that? She asked. The ghost? Nope, said Jack. It's just an echo. It's caused by sound bouncing off the canyon walls. Slim cupped his hands around his mouth. Who am I? He shouted. Am I? Came the distant voice. Oh, man, Jack said softly. That's the answer. To Morgan's riddle, said Annie. Echo, she and Jack said together. Jack looked at Slim. You knew the answer last night, he said. Slim just smiled and snapped his reins. Let's go, pardners, he said.